Legacy, and we'll see what Direwolves actually adapt to this time around as Graves once again going to go, and I like that one.
I don't think we're going to see him again this series.
I also want to echo what Frostgren mentioned on the desk. I think Azir is a must.
Yeah.
At least put attention towards, right? It's going to be pick or ban, plain and simple. Now, Legacy are first pick. They'll most likely go for Sivir again. The question is, do they then ban the Azir and have the knowledge that they'll play something like a Lulu in mid lane instead?
Could be a thing, of course. Is it just the combination of Sivir and Azir? We saw that was incredibly potent
Just
out of the
Azir.
Direwolves.
I mean, they've always, like, the bans that Legacy have put in place, the only difference is the Kindred this time around, so that's where the Azir would have been. But there's an adaptation from Direwolves.
Yeah. Oh, I really like this out of
Sivir's
Legacy, though.
Wow, first pick Azir coming in from Legacy.
Yep.
Whew.
Exactly. Recognizing the strength of the champion. Hey, Direwolves just beat them with it.
Yep.
Legacy have won with it.
And it's
Makes
the
a lot
only
of sense.
champion that Fantix has looked phenomenal on today. I mean, his Viger looked a bit interesting there in the mid lane, sort of the counter pick, but just didn't work in
it
game
lost
number
two
2.
Yeah, exactly. It lost
Yeah.
two Azir.
And Kindred was even banned out by Legacy, so Sybil has had 3 games on that champion.
Oh,
this
I'm
time he's
really
not gonna
happy
get it.
about that, though. Just pick away the Gragas.
And Brawl.
Yeah.
I mean, Janna's always going to be there as a flex pick,
Alistar.
but again, I feel like I look at these these
Trundle.
players, and I think that Braum is Kuden and that Alistar is Regret. I don't think there's a reason to really take them. Regret didn't have a standout Alistar at all.
If I'm not mistaken, Trundle has been banned this entire series.
It has.
Yes,
Most
so
definitely has.
this is now left available. We'll have to see if it's going to be taken by the Direwolves and then what the response from Legacy will be.
I like this, though.
I like this
Sybil's
as well.
Elise is so good.
Indeed. I think Direwolves have kind of gone back to just what they are good at.
Yeah.
To be honest, of course, as you mentioned, being given the Trundle, but picking Elise this time around is the Sybil special, I will say. And Carbon's had a lot of experience on the champion as well, so could be heavy hitting.
That being said, once again, the possible Gragas-Azir combination could be in effect. It was fantastic in a lot of the games from Legacy. Of course, first 2, we did see both of those champions.
Part of me, oh no, Graves is banned. I was going to say Graves would be a good pick here.
It would.
As if it wouldn't be banned from now on. Who am I kidding? You know what, go Lee Sin.
You know, even if Legacy head on to the finals, I think it's going to be permanently banned.
I just like how the fact that the Direwolves still polite even in game number 4.
You can
GG's
have Graves.
in the bans. But Kalista is going to be hovered at least here as the bottom lane's locked in. Alistar Kalista one more time here for Legacy. And look, I mean, they were talking about the fact that Maokai, a fantastic pick into the old Kalista, but now with the possibility of Sharp being on the Trundle in the top side of the map.
It's not like it doesn't make sense, right? Like the Kalistar bot lane is perfectly standard. I think Direwolves, I actually would like the Twisted Fate. I'd be very curious to see in Orianna. So Twisted Fate, let's go with that. I think that that'd make a very good pick comp. It actually gives a lot of pick potential with the Trundle pillar when TF's ulting, forces summoners to get away from the pillar. Easy stuns to be picked up. Lockdown as well with Jhin. With anything. Like they've got a lot of combo.
Twisted Fate was banned the last time Direwolves were on red side. This time it is going to be Kindred that gets taken away instead. So they still get Elise in the jungle, but they are going to get the Twisted Fate in the mid lane. Don't even have to counter pick it because of that first pick Azir.
No, it gives them the option of top lane counter pick though. Kuden can always play the Trundle. If Sharp gets an unfavorable matchup, and Tally, the question is, what does he actually want to play? The jungle is always going to be assumed.
And also, I mean, the pillar's fantastic against Kalista as well, making sure that she can't use that martial pose in order to get around the lane as effectively. But it is going to be the Echo one more time here for Tally as Gragas picked up for the 4th time in a row here for Carbon. Makes sense. Of course, even in the game that they lost, he was still playing well. Has been his go-to pick, and we'll see whether Legacy can make this comp work. Of course, very similar to that of game number 2.
Yeah, definitely is. Lots of zone control. The major difference is, of course...
Or game number 1.
Game number 1. Of course, no wombo, essentially, from Legacy. It's just about putting down stuns in combo and knocking people around. Losing that Yasuo, to me, is actually a very big positive to the team composition that Legacy do have.
And we'll have to see what Direwolves round out their team comp as well now. Like you mentioned, Rusty, they do have the flex pick of top lane or a support. And they are probably going to go with this Maokai. Like Frostgren said, it is a way to lock down the Kalista, who is very mobile. And it was fantastic in that previous game at doing just that.
Yeah, there's also a lot more kill threat this time. Fantix can actually just port in or teleport in and then go back. Of course, he's able to be back and forth now in the team comp.
Yeah, and of course, you know, Spawn actually mentioned on the desk, Huden's been the unsung hero. The last game where the Direwolves were winning so convincingly, was the Janna that was very, very powerful again on that disengaged flavor of support. And Trundles can be so impactful, especially in the late game, navigating through, making sure the team fights and the chases work out effectively. And with the likes of Jin, with the Twisted Fate, their sort of catch and lockdown potential is so, so huge.
Yeah, and this is why I actually like Kuden playing Braum. I think Trundle's the exact same thing, right? It's got a hint of disengage as well as the potential for pick if you put the pillar in a choke point. And that's why I actually like Kuden's style of play with the team composition that Direwolves have got right now, because they can capitalize on any positional error Legacy make.
I love the pick of Trundle as well, just because it offered them that flex pick where we eventually saw it going down into support instead of picking up Braum and showing your hand early. But I think both these two teams have fantastic drafts once again. They've showed that time and time again in this series.
Yeah, and it looks to me like Legacy sticking with what they know and what has been working for them so far in this series, whereas Direwolves have been the one to really throw the monkey wrench into the works here, and we'll see whether they can utilize this big change-up of playstyle, especially given the fact that Sybil, now on a completely different jungler, is going to be a lot more gank-focused, not really caring as much about the farm, and we'll see whether that difference is going to affect them, because Fantix on the Twisted Fate, this is a very different style of game from the Direwolves.
So that's the first question we have to ask, is how will Sybil adapt to the different playstyle? The second one is essentially how will Legacy react to not just constantly invading them?
Yeah, that's exactly right. But ladies and gentlemen, we want to hear from you. Do you think that Legacy are going to be able to close out the series 3-1 now? Use that hashtag LGC win. Otherwise, if you think Direwolves, they have it, they're going to be able to go for that reverse sweep. Use that hashtag DW win. And let us know on Twitter. You also use that hashtag IMOPL if you just want to join the conversation. But we are onto Summoner's Rift. You can see at the top of your screen, 2 to Legacy, 1 to Direwolves, and now all of it rests on the red side Wolves to bring this one back.
That's right, match point Atlas. And Legacy, they are still on that 2-win. Direwolves looking for the reverse sweep that a lot of their fans are hoping for. And if there's any team that can do that, it would be the Wolves. They've done it in the OPL regular season split, pulling back a lot of 1-0s during the best of 3 series. Now they have to prove they can do it in a very long best of 5.
Yep, excited to see last game's Keystone Masteries there as well. If you guys are curious about how the Direwolves managed to win that game as far as Masteries are concerned.
Yeah, no, great.
It was the
Learned a
Lord's
lot from that one.
Bloodlust. Yeah, no, it's good. It's good. I actually quite like it.
Moving on.
Yeah. It's the Grasp of the Undying as well that we did see out of Tally that was working quite nicely for the Yasuo in the laning phase.
It's got a very different champion in this game.
But you can see Sapling's already set up.
So there's only 2 Saplings there. I think it's usually 3 to take it, which to me says that Fantix is about to red card them for 3 CS.
Look, I wouldn't put it past him.
Look, yeah, exactly. To me, it's Fantix, it's Raptors.
Yep.
He may not be Gangplank. I don't think it matters.
The man loves some popcorn chicken.
30 gold. It's worth it, really.
Well, you can see Legacy are starting this lane swap. You can see Kuden making his way through.
Oh, no, no one got him.
Trundle doing what he can.
Rest in peace.
Yeah,
Save the chickens.
Legacy looking for
good
Kuden,
flash.
who is trying to disrupt, but everyone moves over. He's going to vacate using that flash. Exactly right.
Yeah, so Legacy, they were all there, but they're all there to actually stop the lane swap again, right? So they want the standard lanes, and it's kind of like a, I guess, a brute force measure to kind of...
Brute
force.
What's
Brute
force
Yep,
measure.
that's the one.
Countermeasure. Oh,
Yeah, it was, a very good sentence, but unfortunately, just the execution
I'm just
wasn't
going to
quite
sit
there.
over here.
No, we need you. We need
I
you.
want to watch League of Legends.
Well, Raze.
Well, you can go to the bathroom if you'd like to do that.
Oh, nice. Bringing it back to the former conversation that we were having. I like it. But Dancing Grenade out here from this gen, and we'll see exactly how this matchup is going to go.
Calm
Because
down, fish fingers.
of course, it was popularized into the Callista matchup, if I remember correctly.
Yes. I think Jin defined as being able to out-trade Callista by trading in bursts for auto attacks is the very obvious rule of thumb with Jin. But it also means that you're meant to hit them 4 times and then peace out. Otherwise, you run the risk of being out-traded by a Rend, which is where Trundle comes into play. So it should be the auto-attack combo, however many it is, and then pillar and run away.
We can take a look at the mid lane now. Fantix taking a lot of damage, but aggression up in the top lane. Raze is going to get exhausted.
Kuden's
Runs
got
away
this.
as he
my
reloads.
God,
has got
Kuden
this.
What a
is
beast!
on fire, but here comes Carbon. Kuden doesn't have his flash anymore, but he's looking to try and take down King. Not quite close enough for it, and it will be Carbon that picks up first blood.
Yeah, Carbon with a very early rotation towards this top lane. I will say that was outright unexpected by Carbon to be top because he just started on the blue side of the map. So, early gank, still a level 3 gank though, and they pick up that first blood.
Makes a lot of sense there as well, of course, blowing the flash early.
It does make a lot of sense.
Kuden did work, though, despite
Whoa.
that. If that was a 2v2,
you
I would
can-
give it to him.
You can see why Ejim is so frustrated with him in solo queue as well. It's not just his Soraka, it's Trundle apparently.
Okay.
Whoa, dishing out pain.
There's a different reason why Ejim is frustrated.
Woo.
Something, something.
Yep, something. But Sybil,
Tally.
yeah, looking for a potential cocoon
Oh,
here. But
Carbon's
Carbon, once again, exactly where he needs to be on the map.
Got you.
And this, like, again, Spawn actually mentioned this on the desk, his awareness and prediction of where Direwolves need to be in the early game.
Oh my goodness,
Hello.
once again.
Actually, they'll get out-traded, though.
Yeah, that's a level 4 Sybil here who's able to do a lot of work, uses the repel to
Actually,
close the distance, gets the flash. That's a big deal. No flash body slams out of this Gragas.
So he was expecting Sybil to be at Gromp. And pathing-wise, Sybil changed it up, caught him out of position, looking to ward the Gromp, and effectively actually has to flash his way to safety. So big win for Sybil on the flip side.
Yeah, I like it. Fantix using his teleport to get back to the mid lane here. You can see gone, grabbed himself a Null Magic Mantle as well as an extra Doran's Ring. Building up towards that Abyssal Scepter by the looks of things for Fantix. He's just throwing out wild cards and chooses. You have to be a little bit careful.
Yep. Once again, it's the Azir that doesn't take the teleport coming into this matchup. So he's still stuck on his Doran's Ring, just trying to farm as much as possible.
It's a twisted fate after all. You might want that cleanse. Elise as well is actually the jungler you take cleanse into because the pick potential in mid lane is ridiculous. There's these two going at it again.
Yeah, big knock up out of Regret, but getting his namesake there as Raze just chucks a 4th hit into his head. Not too bad. Kuden just utilizing that Relic Shield, getting the work done.
He's doing pretty well up in this top lane. It's still relatively even, but he does have a slight CS lead from himself. But look at this, man. Carbon is back up top lane once again. Regret is positioning really aggressively.
He doesn't have flash.
Oh, there's the flash out of Raze. He gets it immediately as the pillar goes down. Only level 4 for the cow, and Carbon is being so patient.
Oh, but
Destiny's
TF's
being
in.
popped. Yeah, doesn't quite get the belly bop as now Fantix in with the gold card, flashes forward, but doesn't get the auto attack down, and now Sybil
Oh my God,
flashes,
they're out.
but doesn't get the cocoon, and Legacy survive.
Legacy get out in, I'm going to say, a lucky way there. Fantix's target selection was onto Regret, who body slammed him to safety and had the flash. So King doesn't burn a summoner spell. Carbon without the flash was protected quite nicely from Legacy. So really well executed on the runaway.
Yeah, it was a little bit like the Benny Hill music was needed.
From both teams as well. I mean, avoiding the pulverize really early from Raze. Fantastic as well. Neither of the teams get a kill or any advantage up into the top lane, but still showing what they're made of.
Well timed as well from Fantix. Of course, no teleport available for Choose, and actually had recalled, I believe, based off the pressure that he was putting down. So the second the recall came in, they signaled that they can go top.
But teleports are still available on these two members on your screen, Sharp and Tally. Just farming out down in the bottom lane to have the summoner available if their team require their assistance. So we're going to head back in towards the mid lane. Completely even in terms of CS, as Stinger has been picked up by Azir, and Twisted Fate is still working towards his Abyssal Scepter. Tally looking to be a little bit aggressive against Sharp here. Dashes forward. We'll be able to whack him a couple of times if he gets close. Carbon
phase dive.
being a bit sneaky. Doesn't have a ward to spot the blue buff.
Looking for Twisted Fate, but actually is a bit awkwardly running around.
Card. Nailed it.
Easy pickup.
Yeah, Carbon not going to quite get there in time. As you can see, Kuden moving through the top side of the map. Fantix just farming from range, trying to keep safe as, of course, Regret was missing. Cow prowling towards the mid lane, and Fantix says, all right, we'll just stay safe. Everything will be fine.
Yeah, it's a blue buff Twisted Fate. He can just use the Q if it comes down to it. And every piece of farm that is given to Fantix is actually a slight amount of gold in advantage to him over, you know, the relative income that both mid laners have off that passive.
Stacking that deck.
That is gold? That was the E.
Stack deck, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Gives him extra gold. I don't know.
So I thought
I
that
thought
was
that's
the E.
the E.
Oh, wait, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe... What's it actually called?
It's called he gets money on last hits.
Oh, come on, man. I always actually just called it the stack deck, but you're right. That's the extra auto attack damage from his E.
Yeah.
Phew. I really need to do my research.
Revolutionary new spell called I get money with auto attack.
Yeah, get money, hit people.
Nailed it.
Yeah, I like it a lot. That being said, Legacy. Farming out this wave that's been smashed towards them here on the top side of the map. Raise loaded dice is, of course, what it's called. Oh my god, I knew that.
How does... What?
Loaded dice, the passive.
aggression.
Yeah, this one's Fate's Call, though, and that is going to be used on top of Raze. He's going to get headbutted back towards King. The exhaust.
Nice.
No flash.
Down in goes Carbon, and Raze says, oh god. I'm just going to die to the turret as the Render's going to pick it up. King going to grab himself a kill.
Yeah, so Carbon and Legacy once again working together well to pick themselves up another kill. This time it's onto Raze, not to Kuden. And that is the bottom lane of Legacy now, 1-0-1 as
Look at this.
Choose flash.
They're trying to jump onto Choo Choo's. He is able to flash over that wall. Doesn't quite get the juicy Raptor camp. But with that pick up in the top lane, Legacy are just about 600 gold ahead of Direwolves.
That was actually really cute though from Fantix. So Choose used his E to get over to the Raptors. Because you want to kill the Raptors, right? You need to get over that wall or they'll reset. TF uses the ult and forces the flash out of Choose. Which means ganks mid could work. Even though the cleanser's there, it could still work. They have two forms of crowd control.
We'll see whether they do get themselves in there. Sybil now actually counter-jungling towards the bottom side. You can see Direwolves with a lot of deep vision around the enemy red side jungle. Yep. Now Choose just pushing things through, and Fantix, of course, was farming the Raptor camp.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise.
I mean, Direwolves actually playing to their strengths once again. Sybil doing something that was very Carbon-esque, but also expected, is he gank top, invade bottom side, take whatever you can away from him, place vision, and then maybe look to gank a lane, which is why there was a flash on Choose and the threat to Tally. Yeah, and speaking of the junglers, of course, it is the full jungle item completed here by Sybil. Carbon needs to go back before he can grab his Runic Echoes. Of course, 11 CS the lead on the bottom side of the map as Sharp's actually come back here in this matchup.
I'd like to see if he picks up the Banner of Command as well after he gets his Runic Echoes. He's been going that almost every game. I believe every game, actually, for Carbon.
Yeah.
It's like Gragas every game, right?
Yeah, there's also a lot of magic damage.
Yeah, there's not many ways for Direwolves to deal with a Banner of Command minion once again. AP top, AP in the jungle, AP in the mid lane. Only really got Raze to try and take those down.
I believe Twisted Fate's actually a little bit better at it than a lot of other AP mids, though. But Sybil actually looking for the cocoon, doesn't find it as Choo Choo's going to ease himself to safety. Red buff slowing him down, Direwolves continuing some pressure. Kuden going to make his way through as well. The bottom lane's moving in. There's the headbutt. Pulver Sybil taking a lot of damage, wants to try and get out of there, but not with anything to repel to. He goes up into the sky. Where's he going to go? He'll need to flash, uses it as the cask comes out. Carbon actually slowed down there as Regret cancels out the curtain call. And now Dial's looking to turn this one back on. That's 5 people in the mid lane, and they're going to push this one through.
Yeah, and King is working his way around. So you thought Dials might have a small advantage, but keep your eye on those mana bars because they're actually not really in a position to do a whole lot more. Very risky if they continue to the dragon.
Sharp had to teleport into that fight too. Tally's is still up and available. So teleport advantage for Legacy. You're going to have to see if they're able to make use of it while Sharps is still down. Fantix doesn't have his either. So Legacy, even with just one teleport, have the map advantage.
Yeah, and Shu still has cleanse. So this mid lane, whilst Fantix is trying to pressure, doesn't really amount to a lot, especially if there is an Elise nearby. Really, he can just cleanse one and try and dash out of the other.
The really interesting thing here as well in this matchup in the bottom lane at the moment is the fact that Sharp can instantly cancel a teleport, whereas Parallel Convergence takes a bit of time. Sharp can just get out of there with that summoner spell if he needs to. You're exactly right. That's just a stinger.
I was going to say, I thought it was a Nash's for a little bit. He has a lot of money in his back pocket against the Abyssal Scepter. And even an Abyssal Scepter, which is like a 2,500 purchase, you can get it around 80 CS. So both mid laners stacking up that money.
Whoa. Yeah, speaking of which, Nash's Tooth now completed as well as an Amp Tome. As Fantix, of course, Abyssal Scepter is there with the slight CS advantage that he does have.
He'll be able to go back probably for a Sheen after this wave and then a little bit more.
Yep. Of course, Loaded Dice passive helping him out.
Because, Twisted Fate uses dice.
Yeah, he does. Well, he's a gambler. He's a
No,
gambler.
I get it. 1 to 6, though.
Yeah.
It's funny. It makes sense. Edgy.
But if
Yeah,
it was
good.
loaded, wouldn't you get a specific number all the time?
It shouldn't have been. I think
What?
it is. Wait.
Because a loaded dice gives you the number you want, because it's loaded, which weighs more on one side than does the other. So when you roll it, you're meant to get the number which it's loaded against.
I don't think he's played much Twisted Fate, guys.
Are you okay?
Never mind. The joke's lost. Let's just let it go. As now, Raze, he's farming out pretty good. Does have an extra 11 CS as Choose. He's going to get delivered a blue buff. Regret may actually be caught out warding, as there's the pillar. A nice catch with the deadly flourish as Raze actually used the ultimate. Regret was actually looking for a re-engage. That was optimistic. Thankfully, the wall was there. Yeah, it's keen.
That was curious because Jin ultimate was also cancelled, so he didn't use a single bullet. That cooldown will be severely reduced. What we are seeing, however, is Kuden's pillar already being very annoying. And that is exactly what we look towards as we hit the mid-game as skirmishes break out for Direwolves. Twisted Fate ultimate with a pillar to catch someone. Dangerous for Legacy.
Taking a look back up at the top lane, both the AD carries and supports are still in this lane farming.
And jungler.
And junglers.
Shh, it's a secret.
Being sneaky.
Oh, Fantix misses a cannon creep. Quickly, turn the camera off. Cut the video.
Oh, quickly turn off the camera off now. Choo-choos. He's going to be able to just skate over the wall.
Yeah, just
and come back.
Slides his way out. Fantix still has that gold card at the ready.
Teleport used in top lane.
Yeah, Kuden's just in the bouncy castle right now. Deadly Flourish going to do nothing, and King locks himself down another. Legacy will be able to transition into this top lane out of turret at the same time. And this could be the first time they have a real gold lead in this game.
Yeah.
Surprise.
I mean, the first real teleport of the game.
Oh, Fantix.
Hello. Get him.
Got him.
See you later, Fantix. The 1v1 from Choo-Choos.
Solo kill from Choo-Choos from Legacy. And they get the kills up in top lane and the turret. They're looking for the inner turret as well.
Yeah, pushing 2 turrets right now is actually massive. As Fantix, a gold card on a turret, is it really worth it? It didn't even matter if he hit Choose because the cleanse was there, to be fair. So, let's be honest, mistake. And hello, fighting.
Yeah, Dial's actually looking for something more there as the chrono break was used from Tally. Yep, Regret is going to get slowed down by that ultimate. Lots of shots into the backline there as well as King takes a lot. It is going to be Choose taking a turret in the meantime, but Tally may be caught out of position. Carbon heads over the wall. Deadly Flourish, max range, not going to get there as the disengaged barrel is brilliant out of the Gragas. And Fantix now trying to find Choose. Early cleanse. Big deal as the Emperor's Divide has to use the flash into it. That was a very confusing interaction as now Choose is going to die. Fantix locks down that kill, and Dials at least get something back, but that's a huge swing of gold for Legacy.
But it's also the mid tower that's about to get threatened for Legacy, and nobody able to respond besides a lone moo cow. So that is going to go down. He couldn't move there fast enough, thank you. But again, that's actually a trade back for Direwolves off the back of a teleport from Fantix, not the ultimate. They locked down Choose, who didn't Captain Jacket.
He was he was able to abuse the fact.
He thought he was back on NA, just a little bit early. Thought the ping was there.
200 cleanse wasn't enough.
And I can actually tell you for a fact that he plays on 8 normally because he lives 200 meters from my house. So it would be basically the same as right now. So it's not that he's used to something else.
No, again, it's just a misclick.
Yeah,
it's too soon.
Just when I brought it up, I just wanted to make sure that,
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it is going to be the Rylai's Crystal Scepter almost completed here for Choose. Getting very close to that one. His Azir has been fantastic so far this series.
We have to also quickly mention that Fantix playing Twisted Fate is kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
Historically, you don't give this guy Twisted Fate. It's been banned from him even every single game that he's played mid lane, mostly in the OPL.
And Choo-Choo's picked up a solo kill onto him, which speaks wonders for Legacy's mid laner. I mean, barring it was a mistake, but look at this. They're going for an engage once again. They know Kuden was in that brush. They get the double knock-up from the Fate's Call, but the Troll takes absolutely no damage.
Yeah, nothing doing from Legacy besides a bit of aggression. They have to keep their eyes peeled, honestly, for Direwolves. Look at Fantix. He's even hiding himself by doing Wolves. The strength of the Twisted Fate doing jungle camp opposed to a Gangplank is he could literally be anywhere in a second.
Yeah.
And you just don't know where he is. So vision control, you would think, is very important for the mid lane area of Legacy, but in fact, 3 pink wards are there from Direwolves.
Speaking of Twisted Fate, he's looking to pick up Zhonya's Hourglass as his second item, so he can dive into the backline to be a little bit aggressive with his Destiny and pop the stasis to keep himself alive for a couple of seconds.
He's effectively a tanky stun bot though, so he's not going for the Lich Bane just yet. You would imagine third item. It also means that he doesn't want to split push, he wants the team fight. Group up with the team and hit those gold cards.
Legacy have been doing that really well. Great engages up in the top lane, solid kills in the mid lane. Gonna have to wait and see where the next big team fight breaks out.
And it's
look
on
at this.
Carbon.
Yeah,
Carbon got
there's
caught.
the Destiny is Carbon. He's just going to get caught out and destroyed. Fantix grabs the kill as now Direwolves positioned for a dive. Regret going to get the headbutt as King's going to be the focus. There's a deadly flourish. The ultimate comes out as well as King's going to die. It's a double. Regret now underneath the turret, but that's 4 members of Direwolves. And see you later, Moo Cow. Direwolves pick up 3.
No teleport for Tally because it was still on cooldown. Choose not rotating because Twisted Fate does it better. Direwolves, they pick up 3 big kills and turrets.
They're still pushing down in this bottom lane. Choo Choo's is aggressively shoving the mid lane to try and take down the mid lane inner turret. He's already working on it, got it incredibly low.
Will go.
It will eventually go down. So Direwolves make a big play for themselves. Legacy still holding on and keeping the gold lead even. The rest of them have now come back down to bottom lane. Good Pillar will interrupt that body slam. But Legacy are chasing. Look at Choo Choo's. He's making a rotation.
Kuden
Yeah,
is the
might be a
disengaged
flank.
god right now. That pillar
This
was
is risky
amazing.
for
Yeah,
Choose.
Choose trying to get some work done as Sybil going to take a few auto attacks, but he gets cocooned. Raze may need to turn around. Deadly Flourish is not going to find him as there's the Emperor's Divide. Raze flashes forward. Grenade not going to find too much else as the Jhin will fall down. Now Tally trying to find Fantix. Gold card is good. The slows there as Sharp is going to try and protect his mid laner, but there's the parallel convergence. Doesn't find the stun as now Direwolves may have found themselves a group. Tally is going to utilize the Chrono Breakers. Kuden now in the back line is going to flash his way over. And Direwolves still in position to fight this one. Regret gets Fate's called, but Direwolves say, all right, we'll trade that one and see you later.
Yeah, Direwolves actually get out with only one person going down. It was still Raze, however, so not a lot of damage available to them. And once again, I keep coming back to Vision. I just want to bring your attention to the river once more because those 3 pink wards have not been touched. Direwolves have not had to purchase extra pinks.
They've been essential as well in allowing Fantix to move around the map as stealthy as possible, getting picks like he did against Carbon
Exactly.
there, giving them that huge advantage in the bottom lane. But Legacy are answering strong. They're taking tower after tower every single time. They're 4 turrets to 2 in this game so far, and they're still slightly ahead on gold. So despite the picks the Direwolves are getting, Legacy still have an advantage in structures. That does mean there's a lot of standing gold for Direwolves as well.
As far as I'm concerned, Direwolves are actually ahead right now when it comes to team fighting. They've got a Zhonya's and an Abyssal on Fantix, which are resistance items, so you call them effectively mid-game items. Working towards his scaling ones. Sharp's always relevant, and in fact, Tally could be in trouble.
Yeah,
I don't think so, though.
Destiny's going to be popped here as they see Choo Choo's moving up the river. They're actually pinging Sharp back as Sybil's actually going to turn around because Sharp may be in trouble.
Tally's going for it.
Yeah, he's super durable as well as Carbon's going to find his way in. Sharp, he's also durable, but they
What a
don't have a
monster.
turret to go back to. You can see Sybil trying to get some work done. Tally down to about half health, but Choose is going to find his way in. Sharp held onto that flash for a very long time, but he's going to fall down.
Wow.
Nowhere for the tree to escape to.
But you have to keep your eyes on mid lane because these guys are going on Regret.
They're looking for Regret. He doesn't have his ultimate available. Going to take a lot of damage.
No ult.
No ult available for him. No Fate's Call either. They trade 1 for 1, but look at this. Aggressive teleport coming in from Tally.
They're looking for it. He's just going to phase dive his way out. There's the deadly flourish of Sybil just going to die in the air. And now Legacy trying to continue
Kuden's
this
dead.
push. That's a big stun potential, but King is picking up so much.
Raze is dead.
Yep, Carbon picks that one up, and we can actually hear Legacy from this room right now. They're being so loud because that team fight worked out for them, and they're going to move to the Baron.
Yeah, 3 big picks, 4 people dead. Straight to that Baron pit. Fantix and Sharp, the 2 remaining members, and they will take this quickly. Keep your eyes peeled, of course. King's damage on this makes it go down immediately.
Direwolves have both their teleports available, but not going to opt to try and take this Baron away from Legacy. They pick that one up with ease. They're 3,000 gold ahead of the Direwolves.
Yeah.
And a Baron buff.
Quick pause here as well as we catch our breath after that last fight, and Legacy really sort of affirming their lead that they did already have, but the Direwolves, they have a lot of skirmish potential, a lot of pick potential. We'll see whether they can pick their way back into this game. because now Legacy have to push forward, utilize this Baron to grab some turrets, and we'll see whether they can do so.
And it's a small detail, like Perfection or Fantix rather using his ultimate. Doesn't actually follow up the ultimate, but what they do is they spot Choose. And they're like, oh no, they're just going to disengage. Choose went over the wall to safety. Turns out Tally can actually just chase to the ends of the earth.
Forever,
He's a monster.
On that Echo with the Iceborne Gauntlet.
I like how you use Ends of the Earth there as well, because he has the Aladdin skin right now.
Yeah, it's
Very familiar
totally
with that
intentional
place.
with what I meant on
Yeah,
that one.
nailed
So
it. Well done.
definitely a chase to the ends of the earth. Now I just have to use it every time. They get the kill, right? That's one person dead. And literally from that one kill, Tally recalls and teleports in and they get a team fight. Like the synergy that Legacy have, the decision making more so, is always there.
It feels like Direwolves have a lot of threats, and they're threatening Legacy all the time, but they just have the right answers. They're always answering the aggression that Direwolves dish out. And it's been working out well for them in game number 4
At the moment, though, all they're missing is like a QSS on King, and then they are smooth sailing.
And
800 gold, my friend.
looks like he's working towards it. In fact, sells that Vamscape that he picked up for a second, gets that Quicksilver Sash.
The buyback.
It's beautiful.
If this was Season 1, you'd be in trouble.
No more double boots. As Direwolves will be able to pick up the second dragon of the game for themselves. This time, they're the ones in control of that Dragon Pit.
Ironic, considering the fact that they now don't have a Sated Devourer user on their team. Tally's going to continue split pushing here. Now towards the bottom side of the map. Sharp just going to answer him now with Spirit Visage and the Sunfire Cape.
Sharp's going to answer, but it's a Baron buff.
Yeah. He's going to struggle to answer. That's probably what I should say.
The rest of Legacy going to group up towards mid lane. Now actually making their way through the jungle of the Direwolves, grouping up with Tally in the bottom lane. Direwolves not going to go out of fight, but look at this. A dive came out from Regret. He's jumped in towards backlines, popped his ultimate. Turret will eventually go down. Legacy will not decide to chase any further, but do pick up an objective for the Troubles.
Kind of just like nonchalantly throw Regret into the team, like using 2 of their ultimates.
Toss me.
As far as I am concerned, that's actually an Alistar that's no longer tanky. So as far as fights go, it's all on Carbon's engage. Now we'll Regret getting like a flash, which just came up. Headbutt pulverize combo.
Well,
Wow,
Raze.
Raze!
Yeah, most of his
Tally!
Tally with the face dive. Chrono breaks out. All too easy for Legacy.
What a play!
You can't sleep on Tally. Legacy breaking the base now.
Yeah, without Raze, there's nothing they can do to defend. The pillar goes down, but that's not going to save the inhibitor as Direwolves now pack up and try and clear out the rest of the waves.
That should be mid as well.
We'll see whether they can get there in time. Of course, they are going to have to tank this one up for a few seconds. As the Baron buff is there. Now down to half health already is Regret. He's in amongst it. The exhaust is down on Fantix. Just uses the Zonias. But is it going to be enough as he flashes away? Emperor's Divide. Not going to be enough. But the last couple of auto attacks from Choose is enough to do it, because he's massive. And in goes King. The exhaust is down. He's just going to wait on it as Sharp has fallen down way too low to complete this one. Yeah, Raze trying to find it. Curtain Call comes in. Locks down the kill. Gets the double as the cow falls down. But is going to cancel that one out. Raze now moving forward. King doing a lot of damage, and Cuden's all the way out of mana. Deadly Flourish doesn't find the target. It's 4 versus 3. Inhibitor falls as Direwolves, they need to clean up their base.
Yeah, they bide their time until the inhibitor goes down, and they manage to, from the looks of it, get out safely. Legacy just blow the map wide open.
Teleport though from Sharp.
Yeah, manages to get in behind King. Twisted Advance is there, uses the QSS as he's actually trying to find the kill on Cuden, but Sybil locks it down. All too easy.
Yeah, and Fantix even had his teleport if something were to go awry in that situation. Direwolves, they get something back.
Yep.
But when it's 2-9 in turrets and a 7k gold lead for Legacy, and all they can get back is a single kill onto King, who's alive in 25 seconds anyway.
And that turret disadvantage might be the saving grace eventually for Direwolves if they find any sort of advantage. A lot of standing gold on the map for them to pick up. But, like you mentioned, they've got to go through a Legacy lineup with this massive gold lead and only 1 inhibitor turret left to take down.
Well, I mean, there's 4 members of Legacy that will teamfight you if you go for an objective. There's no Baron to take either, so that pick actually equates to nothing.
Yep.
I didn't know the red sensor showed the Scuttle Crab submerged. That was interesting.
That's cool.
Hey man, it's weird. He's still there in the river.
That is very... Sorry, that was really unusual.
It's got you.
Legacy, they have 1 lane left to attack. They should be clearing out that top lane very soon, you would imagine, King. And then Siege. Siege until someone loses their health from Choose in particular. Azir should have been banned this game.
That's how they started the previous fight as well. Choose just sent a couple of the Shurima Sand soldiers and literally poked at Raze until he died.
Well, Lichbane now completed here for Fantix. And with two inhibitors dead, Direwolves only down 7,000 gold. As now Fantix trying to Destiny his way out, is going to. Tally can't break that one. He's going to get himself back to base. It's a big cooldown down, but at least he's not dead.
So this is actually really good. So Tally, yes, he does have teleport, but he doesn't even need to group with them if they just poke when they siege. He can teleport if things go poorly, but he can also threaten the Nexus.
Banner of Command minion is going to try and push towards this last inhibitor turret. Tally's already inside the base on the bottom side of the map. Fantix trying to deal with him as much as possible. Red Card's not going to be able to help him out in that situation. Legacy still sieging on this top lane. In fact, it is going to be Tally that's jumping on top of Fantix now. They're dueling out inside the base. That calls for the rest of Direwolves to try and respond to this. He's jumping on towards the Nexus turret. Gets a lot of damage down onto Fantix. This inhibitor turret should fall shortly. Direwolves, they need to react to this somehow.
Yeah, Legacy just hold all of the cards right now, despite the fact that Twisted Fate is on the other side as Tally. Yeah, Chrono breaks his way back, but still underneath the turret as he gets exhausted, decides to go in. Gonna get the shield back, but there's the ultimate curtain call comes in. It is going to be the Jhin picking up one kill, but Tally did manage to get it. Underneath the turret now against Cuden, who does have the subjugate. He's trying to batter him down, but he's just waiting. Raze comes in, finally gets the kill. There's still a 2 for 2.
But the space is falling. That's the inhibitor going down. All three inhibitors are gone. It's 3 on 3. The last inhibitor's there. Fate's call's coming in. Raze has been knocked up. King is going to be able to take him down. He's kiting back and forwards, but the turrets are gone. The inhibitors are gone. The base has been absolutely demolished by Legacy, and they're looking to be the first finalists of the 2015 Split 1 of the OPL.
Yeah, Legacy, massive work.
Ridiculously well played out of Legacy. A 3-1 victory for the team. You can see giving each other a hug. Our first team into the final. As King almost stacks it.
Regret, of course, sitting in the sidelines over there, didn't get in the huddle. Unfortunate, didn't want to trip over some chairs with his...
Yeah, well, he saw how hard it was, right? He's like, nope, 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 nope.
But that was impressive from Legacy.
Really impressive.
Coming into that fourth game. It started off, I will say, forcibly standard again, so slow-paced. But they ganked top lane. They forced a flash at level 1 from someone being expected and over-aggressive, though. And then they just gank him. They get 1 kill, they get 2 kills, the map breaks open, Legacy just explode.
And Direwolves did use their team composition to fight back hard in the mid-game, just that Legacy responded to it perfectly every single time. And it was a great game for them.
Yeah, really, really solid performance out of our team. That we went 9-1, of course, in the regular split. They were our favorites. They were the #1 team. Powerful, powerful performance here in this first semi-final, but we are going to throw it over to the analyst desk to break it down.
Thank you so much, Atlas. And in the end, it is Legacy 3-1 victors over the Direwolves. So continuing the tradition of 3-1 victories in what is becoming a very exciting rivalry between these two teams. Want to take a quick look at the final game and how this one rounded out. A little bit of a different composition out of the Direwolves, going with a Jhin Trundle lane. I know that you're a big fan of it, Froskin, like how it was able to put down some early hurt.
Oh yeah, Cuden also played the level 1 very well. He was a phenomenal Trundle player. We saw him utilize his pillar quite effectively multiple times that game, despite the fact that they ended up losing. But the cool thing about Jhin Trundle is you effectively put up the pillar, it gives you the free W, which then you, pretty much in that duration, you should be able to get off entirely all 4 of Jhin's shots, which means that you're getting the automatic crit, so it's just a very oppressive lane.
I'm actually surprised we haven't seen more Jhin, because he's actually quite good into Callista and Siva, these sort of shorter range AD carries that have to elongate trades with you. So I think we've started seeing as a response. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the issue of Sivir specifically is that Jhin has a very serious mid-game power trough, and recently they did give some power back to him by allowing him to kind of semi-crit the towers, because the thing is he can't siege. We're in an objective focus meta where the primary global goal is to take down as many towers as quickly as possible, and Jhin can't do that, and then she just runs him over.
I was about to say, the other problem is that she makes everyone quick, and
he's
like, I know Kobe hates this, but I'm going to do it. He's a mobile. Like, I know the dude can move, but he just doesn't when he fights, because he goes into turret mode, right? And like the aim is to get the ulti out. You saw time and time again, they'll just speed up the echo, put it in the face, and you just have to cancel. It's like, I'm out. Like, there's no way I am dealing with that by myself. So I thought that was huge during the mid game, and that's where I want to go. This was a one game where even though Carbon ganked well, I'm going to say that they didn't really get ahead until the mid-game team fighting. This was a game where Legacy legitimately outfought the Direwolves nearly every skirmish.
And I actually think that comes down to Choo-Choo's in particular on the Azir. I think the Azir priority pick was the correct thing to do with the Sivir ban. I absolutely 100% agree with that. Azir was huge for this series, and Choo-Choo's really pulled it out.
And I think on the other side there, you look at Fantix, his Twisted Fate, it's a legendary champion. We've seen him play it so many times. We've heard just how good it is. I honestly feel like it's cursed in big OPL matches because he rarely wins on the champion. This was a great comp for it, I think. It's a good matchup. It's not a great matchup, but I think you neutralize Azir relatively well. Like, everything was there for the comp to work, and it just felt like execution wasn't there for the Direwolves. So all their picks they tried to make in the mid-game, they couldn't, and Legacy did the great thing, and team fought well in mid-game.
All right, guys. Actually, we have a quick interview. We're going to throw it over to Atlas and Tally to get his thoughts on that match.
Thank you very much, Spawn. I'm here with not only the OPL MVP, but of course, the top laner of Legacy who just made it to the grand final here in the OPL. First of all, how do you feel after that win? Of course, 3-1, still very convincing.
Still feeling a little bit jittery after the game because the nerve did come in at the beginning. It's not as exciting as last semis was, but it still definitely feels great.
Yeah, and look, the Echo coming out here as well, saving it for the semi-final. What is it about this pick? I mean, you were so dominant in both of those games.
So in solo queue, I play a lot with Trident Impaired, and I've been inspired from his Echo. The builds he does, they're actually insane. And so I decided to try it myself in top lane, and it seems to have great success for tanks, which are really popular in the meta right now. So it's just, worked really well for our team.
Yeah, well, it certainly did, of course, picking up victories in both of those games. Now, I want to talk about sort of what happened in between a lot of these games, because we've seen Legacy win a game before, and often it's you guys going completely nuts, getting really, really excited about it. But this time you looked very calm and controlled. Is this something new about Legacy? What was it with sort of the more subdued in-between games, even if you did win?
So we've been going about this model of a deep breath in between games to where Tim rails us in, so we're not crazy. We don't do stupid things in the game as much. And it's been it's really helpful, the calm mentality in games, because we can react to bad things much easier. It's helpful for us.
Well, it certainly worked out, of course, even after that first loss. And I do need to ask you about that one, because were you worried at all moving into game number 4? Because the Direwolves really started coming back there in game number 3.
Yeah, after game 3, Direwolves did show their strength there. The team fighting, and we weren't able to do much about it. But we went back to the room, we reset, and then we had a plan, and we didn't really worry that much.
I have to ask you one last question here as well. That Graves game, Can you just let us know how we do that at home? Because we all just want to take over solo queue, please.
3 Weet-Bix every day.
Thank you very much, Tally. And congratulations now, Legacy, through to the grand final, but we'll throw it back to you, Spawn.
Good to know Chef Carvin feeds up well in the gaming house, I guess, because there's a secret to high elo solo queue.
3 Weet-Bix. As Brett Lee said, the success was 7 Weet-Bix, I think. But
Tally
just 3 for Graves. Yeah, exactly right. But the maturity out of Tally, I think
loads him into his shotgun.
All right, maybe that's, 2 and then the quick draw. I'll give you that one. But the maturity out of that player, Tally 12 months ago, now he's much more composed. I think that the gaming house has definitely had that positive impact that we keep talking about all the Legacy players. And that interview just shows, eyes on the next game now, deep breaths in between the games, respecting team strengths, but, playing to their own and coming in with a plan.
I love how he's so reserved, very conservative on the interview. Like you said, really mature. Picks Yasuo game 3 and just I'm just going to go ham.
I mean, you can't check all the bad habits at once. It takes a little while.
I respect.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the fact that it's we joke about Carvin and how him and Choo-Choo the veterans of the team. Sometimes it does sort of feel like Legacy Daycare more than Legacy Gaming House with how young some of these players are, but I think they're all growing so tremendously, and I think Tally's interview there and his composure as a player really shows.
Yeah, it certainly did. But guys, let's take a look ahead as we bring up the bracket for yourself. It is Legacy advancing to the grand final, and it will be against either the Chiefs Esports Club or Sin Gaming. Of course, we get to find out the result of that tomorrow as we take a look at the schedule. It is going to be the Chiefs versus Sin Gaming at 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I nailed it this time, yes. So don't miss that one, guys. However, that is all we have for you tonight. Legacy advance. Unfortunately, Direwolves go fishing. On behalf of myself, the casters, the analyst desk, and our entire production crew, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you tomorrow night.